I've been shot at before, plenty. And I'd been hit a couple of times, too. But it's not something you get used to.
Vint! Vint! Take it easy, Vint. Just a minute. Here, take a little of this. Take it easy. There we are. Here. He was lucky in a way. Just missed his gizzard and lights. Didn't break any bones either. He's lost considerable blood, but I expect he'll make that up.
First bank I put my money in gets robbed. It's your bank, too.
Better get him to bed now and get somebody to watch him.
Where am I going to put him to bed?
Over at the hotel where you live is as good a place as any. If I can't find anybody to nurse him, you'll probably have to do it yourself.
Well, if it takes that to get him well, I'll do it.
Well, I just hope I'm lucky enough to meet up with Jesse Drake sometime. I don't mind so much losing the $300, though it took me a year to save it. But I just don't relish getting shot twice by the same man.
Don't go getting yourself upset, Vint. You know, the doctor said for you to keep quiet.
Don't get yourself upset. What else can I do? I'm lying in bed here with 2 holes in me. How long did he say it'd take me to heal up?
He said it'd take a good 3 weeks or a month.
3 weeks or a month while I'm lying in bed and he's gallivanting around on my money. Well...
Get your foot over it.
How much did you lose?
Oh, about $150.
$150, is that all?
Yeah, I had about that much in the cash drawer. I had most of the bank's money stashed under a floorboard near the old safe.
What?
Well, you see, I never believed much in banks before I got to be a banker.
Just fine. So most of the money he got was mine.
Don't worry, Vint. I'll make it up to you.
Make it up to me nothing. Just tell the doctor to get me well so I can find that Jesse Drake and make it up for myself.
Come in.
I was told I could find Mr. Bonner here.
Well, I'm Mr. Bonner, ma'am. What can I do for you?
Oh, you poor boy. What happened to you?
Well, I got shot. Who are you?
Your Aunt Emma. Emma Bonner Bancroft.
You really are my Aunt Emma, aren't you?
Sure I am.
Well, how's Uncle Joe?
Oh, he died about 15 years ago. Then my youngest daughter got married last year. She wasn't quite 23. I thought she'd never get married. Married a railroad man. I got my tickets half rate.
Couldn't. Well, Aunt Emma, this is Ethan Greenfield. He's a friend of mine.
Pleased to know you, sir. And then you know what happened, Vint? I just remembered about you. Here you were, all alone in the world, with nobody to take care of you. So I thought, I'll just go take care of him myself. And it looks to me I was none too soon, because here you are, flat on your back, with no more sense than to let yourself get shot.
Look, Aunt Emma, I didn't let myself get shot. You see, the Drake brothers tried to rob Ethan's bank here.
You mean to tell me my nephew got shot protecting your bank? And what were you doing?
Miss Bancroft, it wasn't no fault of mine. Well, you see, these Drake brothers...
He's right, Aunt Emma. You see, if it hadn't have been for him coming up with a double-barrel shotgun, I'd be in worse shape than I am now.
Yeah, well, Vince, it looks like I can leave you in good hands now and get back to mine in the bank. And, oh, by the way, Miss Bancroft, where are you going to live?
Well, now, I just didn't plan that far.
Well, now, I have a nice little house out here in the edge of town I took in on a trade last month. I'd be glad for you and Vint to use it until he gets better.
Well, that's mighty nice of you, Mr. Greenfield. Don't you think so, nephew?
Well, yes, ma'am, I guess so.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Well, I'll be saying goodbye. Goodbye, Miss Bancroft.
Goodbye, Mr. Greenfield. Well, now, isn't that nice? I've got me someone to take care of, we've got a place to live, and everything's gonna be fine. Just fine.
But Aunt Emma, I'm just not a staying sort of fella. I'm used to being on the move.
Well, it's high time you lived someplace. I've heard about that gun of yours. So wonder you haven't been killed a dozen times. From the stories I hear back in Kansas, why, they even have a name for you back there.
Oh?
The six-shooter, that's what they call you.
No.
As though the name of Bonner weren't good enough. Well, don't you worry. After we've lived here peacefully a few years.
A few years? Now, you listen to me, Aunt Emma. I never stayed in any place.
Now, Vint, you've just got to stop sleeping on the floor beside the bed. After all, beds are made to sleep on.
But, Aunt Emma, I never slept in a bed more than 2 nights running in my whole life. I don't know why. I just can't sleep in beds, that's all.
Vint!
Yes'm?
You'll learn, boy. You'll learn. Now, nephew, why don't you put that gun away? Oh, won't you come in, Mr. Greenfield?
Just on my way home, thought I'd stop by and see how your nephew's getting along.
Oh, he's getting along just fine. Too well, in fact. Acting like a caged lion, only been out of bed a week.
And that's the longest I ever stayed in bed, too.
Hello, Vint.
Howdy, Ethan. How are things at the bank?
Oh, just the same. Business as usual.
Say, the sheriff ever got a lead on the Drake brothers?
Not a sign. He lost track of them about a mile out of town. Sheriff can't figure it out. Vint, how'd you like to take a little walk with me? The fresh air do you good.
That's fine. I like that very much.
I think it best if he stay in.
Now, listen, Aunt Emma. I'm no boy to be wrapped up in cotton batting.
Oh, he's a big boy now, Miss Bancroft.
None of you men ever get to be big boys. But I'll go get your coat out and see that you bundle up.
Yes, ma'am.
Even the best of them like a ball and chain. Now, here you are after being took care of only 2 weeks and mired down like a hog in quicksand. Now, I'm not saying she wasn't helpful at first. But with a man, there's a limit to being took care of. I got a feeling about women that if you ain't sick enough to be took care of, they'll make you sick enough.
Oh, I don't know. Aunt Emma isn't so bad. She means well, and she's a darn good cook.
And Vince, you know I'm speaking the truth.
I still say she means well. Say, Ethan, did you put that money back in the safe?
Oh, well, I've been kind of putting it off. Since it was only robbed 2 weeks ago, I didn't think there's any hurry.
Ethan, you're a responsible banker, and a responsible banker doesn't leave money under the floor of the bank. Now, why don't you do something about it right now? Oh, come on.
Well, all right, come on inside. You can go home, Bob. It's almost time to lock up anyway.
Where is it?
Stand on it.
Huh?
Stand on it. Probably just safe here as it would be in that old tin can.
So that's where the old goat put the money.
You won't forget that combination. His left 3, right 42. There you are, and I hope you're satisfied.
Say, Ethan, what did you do before you became a banker?
Oh, well, when I was in the Army, I was in charge of what they call the Sanitation facilities.
Who would have figured it was right under our noses all the time?
Well, now that you know, we can get it tonight, huh?
No, Jed, we're not going to get it tonight. We're going to wait till Friday. Month-end deposits will be in by the end of the week. That ought to add $4,000 or $5,000 to the take.
But, Jess, I can't hide here much longer. It's tough enough to get food to you. My wife's been asking questions.
You do like Jess says.
Must be $20,000 or $25,000 in that bank across the street. Now, you wouldn't expect 1/3 of that without going to a little trouble, would you, Jed?
All right, Jess. All right, I can handle it a few more days, but no longer, eh? This is a small town, and somebody's bound to wonder what I'm doing up in this old loft all the time.
Friday will be the night, Jed. No longer.
That'll be fine, Jess. Just fine. Well, I better go.
Vint! It's time to get up. Vint, get up off that floor.
Well, what is it?
It's time to get up when your breakfast is ready.
Oh.
I told you a dozen times not to sleep on that floor. What do you think beds are made for?
Hold on, Emma. I like sleeping on the floor.
But it's not civilized, and you're liable to catch cold. If other people can sleep on a bed, well, so can you.
On, Emma, look, I'm a grown man and I'm a little set in my ways, so stop telling me what to do. Oh, don't cry out, Emma. Look, I'm sorry. I appreciate the way you've taken care of me and everything, but I'm a little naturally a little grumpy in the morning, so dry those eyes, will you?
Your breakfast is all ready.
Well, I'll be right out, Emma. I'll be right out.
And I want...
I'll be right out. Oh.
How does your shoulder feel, Vint?
It feels pretty good. Doctor says it's getting better. He says the more I use it, the better it'll be.
Well, then maybe you wouldn't mind doing me a little favor.
Of course.
You know, the grates in the stove have been slipping down. I thought you might like to fix them for me.
I'll be glad to.
And then those shingles on the roof, they need fixing, too. And now when I come to think of it, the outside of this house needs a coat of paint or whitewash. And
Emma,
now
listen
that the
to me.
winter's over.
You sound like we're going to spend the rest of our life here or something.
Oh, now, Vint, you know how women are. They like to see things neat.
Well, I'm going down to town.
Maybe a little later you could make a new gate for the fence.
Well, I'll talk to you about it later. Later on, Emma. Morning, Ethan.
Morning.
Don't tell me you're eating cold beans for breakfast.
They're good and nourishing. Say that they're cheap.
Well, all I can say is it's nothing like I had for breakfast. I had a fresh slice of ham, good and hot, with the fat browned on the edges, just the way I like it. So tender you could cut it with a fork. And 3 eggs, basted, flaky around the edges, and corn sticks, hot, fresh out of the oven. And honey and butter.
What else?
Oh, some donuts rolled in heavy sugar. Of course, she made those yesterday afternoon. She usually makes them fresh for me every morning for breakfast. And Aunt Emma's hot coffee. Say, Ethan, why don't you come over and have dinner with us soon?
Huh?
Well, I'm sure Aunt Emma would like to fix dinner for both of us.
Oh, I couldn't do this.
She said something about, tonight, for instance, she said something about rare roast beef and deep dish hot apple pie.
What time?
Well, let's say about 5 o'clock for supper. You come early. Finish your breakfast.
the world you got there?
Well, I thought it might help out if I'd pick up a few things for dinner.
We got everything we need.
Well, tell the truth, I went by to see Ethan. And I got to thinking about how he saved my life and how I just never would be able to repay him.
Nasty old bachelor.
Oh, but Aunt Emma, he's not that way at all. Not at all. It's just that nobody ever took the trouble to understand him. Just think of it. An old soldier having held high position in the army, turned loose after the war to make his way all over again, even though he wasn't young, uncared for, unloved. Do you know what he was doing this morning when I was at the bank? I hate to tell you, but he was eating cold beans out of a can for breakfast.
Well, that was kind of foolish. He could have had some breakfast at the hotel.
But, Aunt Emma, he's a responsible banker. He has the interest of his depositors at heart. There he was, with a ledger in one hand and a cold can of beans in the other. That's why I thought I might repay him somewhat by asking him over to dinner tonight. Oh, Aunt Emma, I didn't mean to make you cry.
You never could get used to onions.
Here's the key I got for you. It fits the bank door. You don't think anything will go wrong, do you?
Nothing will go wrong now, Jeanne.
You put the horses where we told you to?
Yeah, they're right out behind the bank.
Well, I guess we better get started.
I'll be waiting for you up at the fork for my share.
Why don't we give him his share now, Link?
I got to let out another notch in my belt.
Fine cook, isn't she?
Yeah.
Ethan, I've been wanting to talk to you.
Go right ahead, Vint. Go right ahead.
Well, you see, Aunt Emma's my next of kin, and well, she's my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm getting at is, what are your intentions?
What?
Well, your intentions toward Aunt Emma.
Oh, see what you're driving at. You got nothing to worry about, Vince.
I haven't?
Oh, I'm really fond of Aunt Emma, and it's not just her cooking, too. Under other circumstances, I might even ask her to marry me.
You might? Well, Ethan, what are the circumstances?
Vince, you're a friend of mine. Maybe my best friend. I'd be the last man in the world to cause you any misery. But now that you found a nice home for yourself, I just couldn't break it up.
No, Ethan, don't be hasty. Don't think about...
Take my word for it. You can live with your Aunt Emma as long as you like. I'll come over for dinner once in a while, but I'll never interfere.
But, Ethan, I want you to interfere.
Huh?
Well, I'll level with you. I'm itching to get back on the trail. But I just can't go away and leave Aunt Emma all alone here.
Now, Vint, I always knew you were considered sort of a fella, and this just goes to prove it, offering to give up all this. Why, no man but a fool would walk away from Aunt Emma's cooking, and you're no fool.
Now, Ethan, you're gonna marry Aunt Emma.
Well, it's not in there.
But you saw him put it there, Jess. You sure it's not in the floorboard?
No. I wonder where the old fool hid it this time. Take a look back there.
Vint, I'm sorry, but I just couldn't let you make the sacrifice.
There's supposed to be someone in your bank?
No, there sure isn't.
If you're not wearing a gun, you better stay here. Or better than that, go get the sheriff. Get down.
We'll wait outside. Who's ever in there has to come through that front door.
You can wait out here, but Vint's in there.
Ethan!
Ethan!
Let's get him up on the desk.
Wasn't bad at all.
Doctor, is he going to be all right?
He'll need considerable nursing, but with proper care, he'll be good as new in no time.
Oh, I'll take good care of him.
Here, Ethan, have a drink. You know, if Aunt Emma here is going to take care of you, you won't need me around anymore.
Vint, don't leave.
Of course, I don't know what the townspeople are going to say if you two live in the same house together while you're getting better.
Emma, if you're willing, I'm willing.
Oh, I'm a willing.
I know when I'm licked. Giving her a drink.
Sure. Say, Ethan, where did you put the money this time?
It's in the shoebox on top of my desk. Never believed in banks anyway.